Afternoon, folks. I'm FW, and with me I've got Darby on camera, and we have found the big cats we were planning on finding for this afternoon. Nice Nkuhuma Pride. We've got visual of two of the females. Some of the cubs are in very thick bush at the moment, trying to stay out of the heat. Females are luckily heads up and scanning around, looking at a couple of things around us. I think more so using the breeze to cool down a little bit. Keegan, you are asking if I've ever been hurt by an animal before. I actually got hurt today. I got stung by a bee. I went for a swim this afternoon to try and lift the heat, and as I got out the pool, I got stung under my arm. So yeah, I have been hurt by a couple of different ones. Scorpions as well before, but mostly bees. Luckily nothing big, scary and hairy that could have done a lot of damage, and luckily I'm not allergic to bees. Yeah, hopefully it'll stay that way for a long time. Hopefully I'll get through my entire guiding career without getting into any big trouble with any of the hairy and scary ones. Anna, you are asking if we're going to see any of the prey animals that the lions would prey on in our area. Hopefully we will. As we move around during the drive, we will hopefully bump into some of the prey animals, some of the herbivores, something like impala, or waterbuck, maybe a buffalo. So yeah, we've got time. We'll explore and see if we can get lucky. Yeah, deal. You would like to know who hunts the food. Now, a lot of people think it's only the lionesses that hunt, but males do hunt. Males sometimes hunt on their own. If they're nomads or moving around, patrolling their territory, and there are no females around, then they will have to look after themselves. So yeah, definitely both of the sexes do the hunting. Often it's only the females that do. Often it's only the females that do hunt because the males are patrolling their territory. But while we keep looking at these guys and see what they're up to, we're going to head over to Brent on Cheetah Plains, see what he's got there for you. Welcome back. We had one lioness move a little bit from where they were laying down, and she has stopped us from moving. She's pinned us down. She's right next to our vehicle. So we are being a little bit more quiet and trying to move as little as possible. Look how close that is. You could almost touch it if you wanted to. That would have been a very bad move, but if you're really brave, you can be my guest. So yeah, we'll have to sit here for a little bit and not move much. Noah, you are asking if the lions ever chased the jeeps. Young lions have chased me around before. I don't know if they look at the back lights, especially at night when you're moving away from them. And they see the back lights. Here's another lioness coming in. Oh, I hope they don't sit all around us. Maybe they're looking for the vehicle's shade. But yeah, no, little cubs or bigger cubs find interest in everything. They try and investigate everything, and they do every now and then just run after the vehicle. But with no intention to harm anyone. It's just playfulness. I think we're going to be here for a while. Thankfully she's moving off. Hopefully the other one follows her and we can move around and try and show you some of the other lions that's in the area. They're scattered all over the place, with everyone trying to find a bit of shade. Linear, you are asking when lions mostly eat. Mostly at night is when they go out and hunt. They see a little bit better, or a lot better than other animals do, and better than we would see at night. So it's their advantage to take and use that advantage to go and hunt, try and get closer to animals. And if they catch something, depending on the size, let's say they catch a big buffalo, they might spend a day or two eating on it. So then they'll eat continuously throughout the time. They'll fill themselves up, go and rest, digest a little bit, and then move on, go back and eat later again. So any time of the day, if they have a kill, they'll eat. But when they get most of their kills, nighttime is a better time for them to utilize that. Vincent, you are asking if I've ever seen lions fight. I've never seen two male lions fight for territory, but I have seen them competing at a kill, and it does get quite intense. There's a lot of slaps being handed around. Look at that cub coming to mum or aunt. Let's see, maybe it might try and get a drink, get some milk from one of the two. Yeah, so I've never seen a full-on fight where it was too serious, just a bit of competition at a meal. Look at those faces together. Another cub is coming out. Michael, you would like to know what type of animals lions would eat. All your medium to bigger sized prey. So that could vary from something like an impala all the way up to a buffalo. And all the ones in between, zebra, wildebeest, kudu, as a couple of examples. Look at that face. Isn't that amazing? We're going to quickly head over to Brent. He's got a spotted surprise. Alright. We had a bit of movement. There's a female that's in this thicket, just to the right of the other lionesses and the two cubs that are sleeping. She stood up and moved a bit. I think she's going to move away from where she's standing at the moment. So in a minute or two she's going to come. Oh, there she's coming. Come a little bit more. Keep coming. There we go. Slowly but surely. Matthew, you would like to know if there's only one male lion in the pride. At the moment, there is no male with them, but the group of males that the territory that we are in at the moment is a group of 4, if I'm not mistaken, and they are called the Birmingham males. Look at this one having a little bit of a drink, trying to get some milk. Awesome. With regards to males, their group sizes differ. You do get solitary males that run territories that are the dominant males, but they've got much more success when they're in groups, in coalitions of maybe 2 to 4 males, 5 males. That just helps them fight off any intruders or anyone that wants to challenge them and take over the territory that they hold. It's very important for them to hold their territory for as long as they can. It is very important for them to hold their territory as long as they can, to get these cubs a chance to grow up and reach some form of maturity before they get kicked out. White Oaks Elementary, you would like to know how long lions sleep for. They can sleep up to 18 hours out of a day. That is a serious amount of sleeping. I wouldn't mind sleeping 18 hours a day. Darby, what do you think?
Oh, sounds good.
That'll be fun. Won't get much done, but it'll be great. As long as it's nice and cool. Liam, you would like to know why lions like the shade so much. I think it's purely just to stay cool. They want to stay cool. They don't want to use any energy, have the sun draining them from any energy, and it's just more comfortable. It's in the shade. It's same if you're on your summer break or something and it's a hot day out there. You don't want to spend too much time in the sun. You would rather hide yourself in the shade and protect yourself from the sun. White Oaks, you would like to know how long the cubs would stay with their mother. Female cubs would stay, or most likely stay, their entire lives. They'll stay in the pride, and they keep the pride growing and moving forward into the future with breeding and so on. Males get kicked out. So males at around 2.5 years to 3 years, their fathers, the dominant males, push them out. And that is a very good way of getting their own genetics spread further into these wilderness areas. So these guys will become nomads for a while. They'll spend time on their own, moving around, hiding from other males, and try and avoid being cornered by any of the dominant males of other areas until they are one day strong enough to challenge one and maybe push him or the group out. They'll often find other males that were pushed out as well, and they'll form coalitions and work together to survive. before we say goodbye, I just want to show you an interesting beetle. Look at how tiny this beetle is. It's called a longhorn beetle. Just look at it, that amazing coloring and the spots on the body. To all the kids that joined us today, it has been lovely having you with us. We hope you have a lovely day going forward. We are going to head over to Brent and see what he's up to. We have still got some very sleepy lions. There's just one cub that's drinking from mum at the moment. We haven't even had a chance to move the vehicle. We've got a lioness right next to us, fast asleep, lights out. So I don't think we're going anywhere anytime soon unless she decides to get up and move off. So we've got 2 cubs that we have visual of at the moment. I don't know if any of the viewers can help me with sexing of the cubs, the 6 cubs. I'm not being in the area too often. I don't know the sexes of the cubs, and it would be lovely if you could give me a hand with that. There's a 3rd cub coming out now, doing a bit of lion yoga, stretching itself out. Andreas, you would like to know if the animals suffer from the heat as much as us humans do. I think they do. Some animals like buffalo or rhino, elephants, they'll cool themselves down with going into mud and throwing themselves with mud in the case of elephants, and the others will just roll around in mud. So that's a way for them to soothe themselves from the heat. Animals like lion and leopard, they'll try and minimize their movement during the heat of the day, do as little as possible, and then when it cools down, move around. Look at this cub greeting this female, saying hello, snarling a bit at the vehicle. The females will allow each other's cubs to suckle from them. So this one that's lying next to the vehicle might have been mum, but just not being able to get to mum. They'll maybe try with another female. Something's got their attention. They've just lifted their heads. I'm just having a look around. What has got them to lift their heads? I don't hear any movement of anything. Let's wait a minute or two and see if they decide to get up. If they get up and start moving, oh, no, flopping down again. Daniel, thank you very much for that information. So it is 1 male cub and 5 female cubs in this group. I think that's very good news for this pride, that the female cubs will just keep growing this pride, and maybe one day they'll end up as a mega pride. Mega prides are prides that have relatively big numbers. There's one in particular in the Kruger Park that's quite well known. They've got some white lions in that group as well. They are their area is around a road that's called the S100, which is close to the Satara rest camp in the Kruger National Park. I think there are about 30 odd lions in that pride. Shame Cub, I would love to have moved to give you a chance to drink from Mum there, but we're going to cause trouble if we do. Folks, while we patiently wait for this lioness to move to give us a chance to move on and go and search for some other stuff, we're going to head over to Taylor with some of the smaller creatures on bushwalk.